Ian Garry. So I don't like to comment on this type of stuff. As I've told you all, like people's personal relationships, I just want to stay completely out of this. But what I will say is this is a huge opportunity for Ian Garry to show how much championship material he's got in him, because he's 26 years old. Like, I can't even imagine, like, this shit would rattle me if people were talking about my family and my wife like this. And especially right before the biggest fight of my life, of my career, kind of the stepping stone and projection into me becoming a top 10 guy. So Ian Garry's got to be rattled, right? But if he can come out on the other side of this, the sky is the limit for how big this guy can be.
Ultimate Punch!
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Ultimate Punching, the ultimate MMA channel, if I do say so myself. I want to thank you guys for watching, and if you wouldn't mind just hitting that like button and hitting that subscribe button, it helps me grow the channel, and I'm really appreciative of your support. Now, I think things have blown over a little bit just in terms of what's going on, because our community, the MMA community, finally got their weekly dose of violence, so we've all calmed down. We don't need to dig into other people's lives. We don't need to spill the tea, as we call it, because without that weekly dose of violence, look at what happens, right? But anyway, my whole point is that Ian Garry's got to be under a ton of pressure, right? He's going to be coming into this UFC 296 press conference, which is in less than 2 weeks, and he is going to be dragged through the mud by Colby Covington 100%. Maybe Leon will even get in there a little bit. We don't know. There are probably other people chomping at the bit to comment on the fact that he's being taken advantage of, that he's a succubus, that Ian Garry's, I don't even remember her, Layla Annalee, and then her ex-husband live with them, and you know they're probably going to make fun of the fact that he's like sleeping with his wife while he's out, and maybe he's okay with that. Who the hell knows, right? Like, what people do, it's in their own families, it's their business, right? But at the end of the day, everybody is going to be bringing this shit up at the press conference, right? He's going to be going in there with a ton of pressure on him. He's going to be, there's the potential that he is super rattled. This is messing with his mindset. This is messing with his training. Like, can you imagine coming up on the biggest fight, biggest interview, biggest anything of your life, and just have your family completely dragged through the mud before this happens, right? It'd be absolutely insane. It would be so hard to deal with. But if Ian Garry can come out of this, right, come fucking prepared to that UFC 296 press conference, and if I were him, like, I would be firing back at absolutely everybody, right? I'd be firing back, and I know this isn't going to look great, but I would be coming at Colby with you know, nail for nail, tooth for tooth. Oh, you got your head smashed in by Masvidal. Oh, you're a big quitter who you can't knock anybody out. You're like, I would just be going in on his performance. You've lost the title 3 times and you're going to lose tomorrow, right? Like, I would be going after him hard, you know, because if he does this the right way, he's going to gain a lot of fans, but he's got to come prepared with what he's going to say. I would be fighting fire with fire. I'd be throwing it back, and I'd be making sure that, like, I'd be digging up dirt on everybody else who's going to be on that stage, and I'd be throwing that back at them. Like, hey, listen, we've all got skeletons. Colby, you're this. Vicente, you're this. Leon Edwards, you're this. And I'd be throwing it at every single one of them, right? Be the bad guy. Steer into it. Everybody's going to be against you anyway, so there's no problem in making more enemies on that stage. Be the villain. Slide into it. Whatever, right? So that's the way I would go about it. And then the other side of it is, of course, like, you have to fucking win. So whatever you need to do in these next 2 weeks to get your head in the right space, that needs to be done, because you need to fucking win. You need to beat Vicente Luque, which is very difficult, and you need to move on and call out Colby, call for that title shot, right? Because right now, like, if this rattles you to the point where you lose, you're in a lot of trouble. Just both from a professional standpoint, you're never going to be what everybody thought. Well, that's not to say you won't, but I just think like you won't be that guy anymore. You won't be the boogeyman. You won't be this talented kid who everybody's running from, right? That like you're still great, you still have the potential to be great, but it's just one of those things. So the way I see it is that you absolutely have to fucking win. So whatever you need to do, turn off social media, don't listen to nobody, get your ass ready for that press conference. Come in there, guns a-blazing, go after everybody. Light them all up with all the skeletons in their closet. That's the way I would do it. Assuming you doing this won't affect your performance. If it will, then you need to just do whatever you need to do to get your mind right for this upcoming fight. Because absolutely, I think you can whoop Vicente Luque if your mind is right, So this is a huge opportunity for Ian Garry to become, in my opinion, a superstar in the sport. If he can come out of this whole situation with his mind right, if he can whoop Luque, if he can, play it right at the press conference and go in guns a-blazing against absolutely everybody, like he comes out of this an absolute superstar. But if he doesn't come prepared and he doesn't have his mind right, and if he loses, like he still has the potential to be a champion in my opinion, but this is the moment where like he goes from just this, a famous guy in the UFC to like, Masvidal, Conor, Nate Diaz level of fame. So that's my thoughts on the situation. I absolutely think that Ian Garry can do it. But the interview he did the other day, he looked rattled. He did look like his head wasn't in the right space. And I don't really like the guy, I don't care either way, right? But this is going to be the big test, right? This is going to be the spot where if he gets this right, he's going to be the superstar level in the UFC. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think that this is going to be the right thing for Ian Garry? Do you think that my thoughts are right? Do you think he should go in and, kind of go on the attack for everybody and he absolutely needs to win? Let me know your thoughts. Let me know in the comments. But Ian Garry has the potential to be a complete superstar after this.